can start. So let's go to the next slide. So let's start with the agenda. So we will have the first presentation. So we have two reports basically to present today. One is IoT and Edge Computing EU-funded projects landscape report, release 3. And the other one is AI, IoT and Edge Continuum relation and impact on 5G, 6G and beyond, release 4 and use cases, where we will have Kostas from Inlecom Systems presenting also one of the use case from the report. And then we will have Q&A and wrap up. So let's continue with just a short introduction about AIOTI Standardization Working Group. So we have the group in which we have almost 100 member organizations participating, almost 200 participants. We have Antonio Kung from Trialog as a chair. We also have the link for all the resources, reports, deliverables from this group, if you are interested to check. And then also you can see what are deliverables, collaborations, and events to which this group either contributed or also organized or co-organized, which is very broad. And on the next slide, I will show you the current, let's say, work items that this group will actually work this year. So from the computing continuum, landscaping of IoT and Edge computing together with EOS Stand ICT project, IoT in relation to 5G and beyond new release, EU-funded projects landscape new release, high-level architectures, computing continuum, gaps on IoT and Edge, again together with Stand ICT, data to ontology mapping, ontology landscape, and then AI integration in IoT, Edge computing, and computing continuum. So this, you can see, it's quite broad, and I would say very much related to, I would say, all the topics that this association covers. So you can expect, I would say, more deliverables and more webinars. So let's maybe now start with the presentation of the report on the IoT and Edge Computing EU-funded projects landscape, release 3. And I invite Zbigniew from Orange, who was report editor, to actually lead us through the presentation of the report. Thank you. Zbigniew, floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. So I will talk about the report, which is devoted for the IoT and Edge Computing EU-funded projects. So it is already released, third release. So we are working on this report from 3 years already, and we updating the report with the new project that are appearing, and also we are updating whole the report as some projects are finished during the last period last year. So the goal of the report is to analyze completed, so which are finished projects that are finished, and ongoing EU projects related to IoT and Edge computing. The method that we are collecting the information about the project was in 3 ways. The basic one is using the template with that could be filled up by the partners from each contacted project that is, let me say, ongoing project. So in such template we are used the template with the abstract, with the title, of course, and some information about the challenges, research challenges. So what are the topics, subjects that are working on in the project, and what is the expected or achieved activities related to the dissemination and impact on standards. So we gathered here all the information that projects are contributing to the standards or using the standards and how they're using which standards. So we have complete analysis. So we created the landscape of the project in relation to the standardization work. Also, beside the template, we used, of course, we analyzed the public deliverables of the project, and also we had inputs that was provided by the members of AIOTI. So the report is including two parts. First part is IoT, related IoT projects with the completed and ongoing project, and the second is Edge Computing project, also completed ongoing. As you see, the number already is for IoT 46, for Edge Computing 50 projects that were taken into account in this analysis of their activities, standardization activities. So please, next slide. So what are the results? We prepared the analysis in taking into account technology and marketing dimensions. It means how it looks like in terms of marketing and what the technologies are used. So for IoT, you found that you can see if it is more related to B2C or B2B market, or related more to service and application or connectivity. In the figure, you can see the projects that we have full, let me say, scope of the subjects in different directions. So also many projects are related to services, many to connectivity, but some of them also are touching all the possible subjects that we are analyzed. And then also we gathered the project together in the horizontal and vertical domains, IoT domains. So we have typical IoT domains, verticals, and also the horizontal, which is telecommunication. It means that we are using some networking technologies. And you can see also the spread of the projects is quite among all the verticals. Some of the projects even touching all the use cases, all the verticals. Some you can see that are focusing on specific verticals. So next slide, please. And the second thing which we analyzed is how the projects working on the contribution to the standardization organization and initiatives. You can see in the figure that we take into account all the organization or initiatives that appeared in the project. So the mostly used or more contributed and mostly used the standards in the project or following the standards in the project are HCI. It's quite obvious in Europe, but also we have less interesting in ISO, IEC, IEEE, but also we have a lot of initiative subjects that in the project that are contributing to open source and open standards. Also, there is a lot of, as you know, there is a lot of different initiatives. We have many standardization organizations, but also many other initiatives that work on standardization, and you can see we gathered all which were mentioned in the analyzed projects. So next one, please. The next is IoT. There was completed projects, and the same we did for the ongoing project, IoT ongoing. So here you can see the same analysis, the same figures. You can see that for ongoing we have less project, but for completed we have more right now as we gathered from the last 3 years. So it's obvious that will be more in the completed, but you can see that here how it looks like in the market dimensions and in the vertical IoT. So the projects also are spread in the verticals, but more, you can see more related to the B2B marketing, but in the services or connectivity is also spread almost everywhere, as you see. Next one, please. So the same, you can see how they contribute to the standardization. And again, you can see that mostly is HCI. Of course, IoTI has many partners are involved also, and also they contribute to this report. But the main conclusion that HCI is mostly in the interest of the project that analyze different IoT subjects. So next one, please. The next group is are the projects related to edge computing. It is completed projects. So again, the same analysis, and you can see also that most of the project touching rather all the subjects that related to B2B, B2C, or to service and connectivity, but some of them, of course, are more focusing on one aspect. Also, you can see that edge computing projects that are working mainly on edge computing subject in their project also have a use cases in IoT verticals and are quite spreading between the verticals. So different verticals also are subject as the use cases for applying edge computing edge systems. Next slide, please. And the next is about the standardization. Again, you can see that HCI is mostly and open standards, but also many of 3GPP are also contributed or following the standards. Next one, please. It will be edge computing projects that are ongoing, so current project. You can see that is still a lot of projects related to this subject, more than in IoT subject, and quite spread broad coverage of the quite long spectrum. Quite large spectrum on different projects that are one on focusing on one dimensions and other are quite working on different aspects. Also according to the verticals, also quite spread, maybe in transportation is more, energy, healthcare, you can see that in this case is more focused. The next one, please. And contribution to the standardization. Again, HCI, you can see the mostly interesting, and also ISO IEC, and maybe less open source and open standard. But anyway, every project contributing to different standardization organization or initiative, so it quite also spread among different smaller, even smaller or less popular initiative. Next one, please. Okay, so summary. So this is the third release of the landscape of the European project. So we analyze 96 projects, comparing to the previous report, it was 61, so quite a lot of, quite more projects. So 50 was from Edge Computing, 46 from IoT, and similarly 47 is completed, 49 is ongoing, taking into analysis. So if you see on the IoT project landscape, you can see in the challenges that are touching in the project. So mainly it is system architecture, data security, interoperability, intelligence, and in the standardization, most popular is HCI, IoTI, and then others. But as I said, activities in the standardization area, we take into account the usage of the standards, contribution that are in the dissemination reports, and use cases specific. For edge computing landscape, the challenges are related to the platform architecture, so also the architecture, cloud AIoT computing continuum, and also IoT support and security is most popular, let me say, most effort spent on this subject. And in the standardization, again, at CI, IoTI, we have and others, and the activities was taken into account the same as in the IoT landscape. So that look like the results of the reports in summary. And there is a next slide. Yes, next steps and questions. So it is updated version, third version of the report. We plan the next release. Probably will limit the completed project to 3 years, but we can see in the analysis that we will revise 3 years projects from the past. But of course, will be new projects added, new technical challenges, and of course, updated analysis of the standardization activities. So the question is to the audience that how this report is useful for you, or are there also if there are any other IoT or edge computing founded project known to you, you can include in the next release of the report. So thank you. If you have any questions, so this is the time.
Thank you very much, Zbigniew. We will have also at the end Q&A session. I saw one question from Bjorn, and I can immediately reply to this. Bjorn, it is based on the input. So if there is no input about that project, it will not be listed. Very simple. So if we don't have a member who is part of it, then I doubt we will get it. But if for the next release, colleagues from that project that would be interested to contribute, that would be great. And of course, we will be very happy to include it. I hope that replies. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next report. And this is a report on AI, IoT, and Edge Continuum relation and impact to 5G, 6G release 4. And then we will present one use case or several use cases from Inlecom that were featured in the report. But let me give you just very short update on the reports. It was published pretty much in parallel with the EU projects landscape report. And the goal, of course, was to highlight various vertical domain use cases, which basically determines or defines specific requirements under the underlying 5G, 6G infrastructure. And then, of course, these use cases and requirements can be used by SDOs to basically define the requirements in the vertical domains. So that was a sort of the idea why we are doing it. And so far, in previous 3 release, that was very much, I would say, useful and used. That we know for sure, in particular in 3GPP. In this release, we added 14 additional use cases, and you can see what are the areas. I will not read them now from the screen, and of course you will see it a bit later in the content which ones are they, but 14 new ones. So I think that was quite an addition, because we have already from previous releases a lot of use cases, and we will have to see in the next releases how to kind of let's say structure it, because it's getting a bit too big. Which in a way is good, but most probably next releases will be just adding new ones rather than repeating all of them. Method of collection of the information was again a template, so contribution from the members, but also analysis of public deliverables of the 5G and 6G projects, because they are listing, so to say, summaries of the projects. So we went through those summaries and we contacted the project coordinators for additional information, and then we collected this information and added it to the report. And you see what was the content of the used template. Actually, quite a lot of information. It's very, I would say, detailed. I'm not saying that for the report was not, but this was really quite a detailed use case, quite detailed template. And I think we really collected a lot of very useful information, also with illustrations, explanations, tables. It was, I think, quite a good effort. And then you can see here, it's a very complex report with a lot of use cases, and you can see basically how they are structured, from human-centric and vertical services to digital twins, pervasiveness, smart mobile devices in cities, autonomous urban transportation, maritime transportation, and so on. So you can see all the kind of chapters and then use cases that are falling into that, let's say, category. And then you see also in chapter 3 emerging topics, where some of them are again a bit repeated, like digital twin, with some new elements that are coming there, and then other mostly edge related, I would say, topics there, but also discussion about the IoT components and devices, a bit about the legislative framework. We updated this because we had some new legislation coming up in the meantime between 2 releases, and then we have conclusions and recommendations, and then some annexes. And then, of course, the same as we have for the previous report, we will start in May work on the new release. And we have the same questions in a sense, do you find it useful? And of course, if you have any use case that you would like to contribute or any project that you would like to feature, of course, we are very open to discuss this with you. Is there any immediate question before we move on to Kostas and to present some use cases? Okay, then let's keep it maybe for the end. And then Kostas, the floor is yours. Kostas, can you hear us? See, you are muted. That Kostas may have some technical issues. Let's see how that will work. Kostas, can you hear us? Okay, I think we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Sorry,
No worries.
there was an issue here with the laptop. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks everyone for joining this event, and Damir, thank you for organizing this event. A few words about the project. Rotosenis' main target was to develop a novel distributed trust and identity management framework to dynamically and holistically manage the life cycle of IoT devices. Of course, having always in mind to support the enforcement of the NIS Directive and GDPR and Cybersecurity Act. So the main contribution in the standardization and certification roadmap was that we were able to facilitate the secure development of digital products and their components, define the cybersecurity rules for placing products on the markets, along with the requirements during the phase of the design and the development of these products. Also, we managed to define certain requirements related with the processes for handling certain vulnerabilities in the domain of the IoT devices. We managed to share several reports of how to establish rules on market surveillance and enforcement, and establish different proof of conformity processes. Of course, many of these reports have been shared through our website. So please feel free to visit our page. The project concluded in March 2025. So next slide, please. In order to validate, the tools that were developed during the project, we have as first large-scale pilot, the one that was managed by IDIADA, and is related with the connected vehicles. The main target of the pilot was to apply the Rotosenis technical framework to the automotive industry through certain components that we managed to develop through project, such as the DLT, that provides the domain support for the identity management and trusted IoT device information sharing. Physical unclonable function, that's technology that was used to generate unique keys based on the device characteristics, or the MUD management framework that is responsible for serving MUD files and their signatures. We were able to make several tests by visiting in the other sites where we had some scenarios tested for denial of service attack in the automotive industry. So next slide, please. So some of these functional and non-functional requirements, as an overview, was the integration of advanced driver assistance systems platform tool client with Rotosenis modules, the secure and privacy-preserving information sharing through the well-established architecture, and some performance measures that I can share here is that we're able to measure the time between the first messages as a sender and receiver and the timely response to attacks. You can find some more details in the reports that we have shared through our webpage. So let's move to the next slide. So, okay, the next slide describes the validation of Rotosenis framework through the second pilot, which was related with the smart health domain. Again, the main target was to apply the Rotosenis technical framework in order to enhance the cybersecurity of remote patient monitoring system. TEU managed the second pilot. As a part of the pilot activities, a personal health gateway was prepared to be deployed in patients' home in order to collect data from medical sensors and secure transmit them to cloud-based healthcare services. So some of the key contributions here was the zero contract enrollment of users and devices, the integration with third-party services, extension of the platform with private devices, the emergency situations, and the continuous monitoring and lifecycle management of TEU services. So next slide, please. Through Pilot 2, we mainly relied on certain modules that were developed through the projects. These were mainly about the data flow through the integration of three key technologies developed in the project. The one is the physical unclonable function that, as I detailed previously, is used to generate unique keys. The self-sovereign identity, which provides certain authentication and authorization services following a self-sovereign identity approach and complying with decentralized identifiers. And the last one, the distributed ledger technology. Here, the main objective of the DLT was to provide both single domain and digit domain with immutable and auditable support. And the key features were mainly about the automatic deployment and update of the software from TEU services and end-to-end cryptography. So that's all from my side on behalf of our Rotosense project.
Thank you very much, Kostas. And now we have Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you can either raise your hand or you can put in chat as whatever basically works for you better. I will just check what is in the chat so far. Okay. Okay, thanks Bjorn for the information. We will check this and then see.
Thanks.
And thank you, Kostas. Is there any question or comment, any suggestion? Or anyone can, also suggest if there is any project that you think can be featured in any of the reports. In any case, in this presentation that we will also share you and publish, you can see what is there and also how the template looks like for both. Just in case you are interested, we can always kind of receive your input. That's always open, I would say, at any time. So there is no any kind of limit to it. Any other comment on the reports? Okay, it seems that everything is clear, which is also good. So thank you, Zbigniew and Kostas. As you could see, there was really a lot of work behind these reports and a lot of analysis.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thanks, Damir. Yeah, so I've already included the link for the website where you can find the reports related with the development of these modules in the chat. Okay, yeah.
Yes. You. And that would be good if you can also put link to this to the chat. That would be great. Yes, so that interested colleagues can check this one. And then, like I said, we will start in May now to work on the further releases of the report. So any input that you may have, and thanks again, Bjorn, for this one. We will check this and see how we can use this for the next release. Okay, if there is no any further questions or comments, then I would also not like to keep you longer than necessary. I know that you are all busy. So thank you again for participation. Thank you for the shared information. Thanks again, Zbigniew and Kostas for the presentation and also all the work and contributions to the reports. And then we will move on to the new releases. Thank you very much.